Hey, I'm Hailey.
And I'm Jessi.
And you're listening to
Personality Hire, the podcast where I have something exciting to tell you, because I think having a kid, there's a lot of exciting things that go along with it, obviously. Yeah. However, when you start to notice that some of your unique quirks, or some might say hidden talents, emerge from your offspring, it gives you a sense of, I don't know, like you won something over your partner, you know?
Yeah.
Like maybe I have a leg up on the person that I have had this child with. Two things I've noticed from Scooby-Doo and I wanted to tell you about.
Okay.
Number one is I can do the dead doll face where you
Yes.
close one eyelid.
I can't do it.
And you keep the other eye open and ideally straight on, looking dead at the person. So it kind of freaks them out. It kind of looks like you're a weird little baby doll. Lo and behold, look in the back seat today, Scooby-Doo doing the dead eye. And she said, "Mom, is this winking?" I said, "Yes."
Can you not ever tell me that without sending me a picture or video? Because that's so funny and amazing. And I'm so pumped.
She said, "Is this winking?" And I said, I didn't want to say no because it's something. And all I said was, "Yes, it's something exciting." I said, "I can do it too. Look."
Exciting.
And then she said, "But I can't do it on the other eye." And I said, "That's okay. It'll come with time."
Yeah.
It'll come with time, young one. Second thing is I love a claw machine. I love a claw machine. I loved them. I have one at my wedding. Okay. In order to get your thank you for coming gift, what is that called? Your favor.
Yeah.
You had to get out of my claw machine at my wedding because I love them. Okay.
That's
so today
hilarious.
we were in a situation where there was a claw machine all summer long. If there's a claw machine, I've been at it and I love them and I'm good at them. Okay. It's my secret talent. Scooby went up to one today.
Did she nail it?
Girl, first go. She got her prize.
Okay, so she's a claw machine savant.
And she can close one eye.
Guys, she's 5.
She can close one eye. I wonder if she could get something out of the claw machine with one eye closed.
Probably.
So
she's
it just makes me feel like I'm winning in the genetic
Also,
race.
she got the lyrics. She can memorize lyrics the way you do.
Easily. That's true.
Yeah.
She can. Because I think for a lot of people, I know that I've spoken to a lot of women about this. Sometimes babies come out looking a lot like their dads.
Well,
I think
especially the firstborn. Isn't that a thing?
Well, I think that a lot of it has to do with, from what I've read in my pea brain, that it's nature's way of saying, this is your paternity test. This looks just like you.
Yeah,
and then the baby will begin to come into its own and look like whomever they're supposed to look like. But when Scooby-Doo was born, she looked dead like my husband. And I was like, dang, I didn't get one horse in this race. Not one. She's starting to change. But now with these things that are coming out, like her talents, her hidden talents, I'm like, I was there the whole time. Maybe not in looks, but in other freaky ways.
She has your smile. She has your smile. You sent me the picture after her haircut last week. And I was like, that's Jessi's smile.
She's got maybe my smile and my freaky little quirkity quirks. They're coming out one at a time. So what I like to say is watch out, world, because I was a major freak growing up. So she's going to be an extra freak.
I love that.
Yeah.
Certified freak.
It got me thinking though. I love like a Dave and Buster's situation.
I love them. I love them so much. I've been begging J-Dog. We have some friends who like went one weekend when we were out of town. And I was like, your friends? What friends? Because what friends would think we're going to go to Dave and Buster's the one weekend that Hailstorm is out of town?
Not on my watch.
Yeah, you want to know what I'll do in a Dave and Buster's? Tear it TF up.
I don't think I knew that about you, and it really makes me happy.
Oh my gosh.
Because I love
that.
a Dave and Buster's. Same.
I also heard that they're opening up a Chuck E. Cheese for adults, which is Dave and Buster's. Confused. But I guess under their Chuck E. Cheese umbrella.
Mr. Cheese.
What is the middle name?
Charles Entertainment Cheese.
Oh, that's it. Okay, thank you. I was like, what is the E?
E is for entertainment.
Which is hilarious. But in Beaufort, Georgia.
In Beaufort, well, I mean, I guess that tracks, you know, like they gotta put it where it's hot.
They might do it in other places. I think that's just the little, flyer
I'm sure. I think there's probably a hot spot for that in Beaufort. That makes sense. I do love a Dave and Buster's. I love an arcade game. I wanted to ask you if you had a favorite. I've got several. So if you have several,
like skee ball.
I was gonna say that too.
That's a good one.
Yep.
I like shooting where you get the targets. I've always been super talented at that.
Great. What about the water
whack-a-mole
one?
I love that. No, I love that one.
Yeah.
It's hard though because it depends. Those are rigged because if your little gun doesn't have enough power behind it, which some of them don't, I don't know if like what hoses they're attached to, but I have been at a fair where I've seen that happen where some of the horsepower behind the water coming out of that little water gun is not as intense as the next one over, and that just stinks.
It's true. No, you're very right. And that also makes me know even more that you are just as fond of these games as me because you know that.
No, I think about them.
Yeah. I mean, I absolutely love anything that has to do. I love a skee ball. Throwing a ball at anything. I love the
the basketball.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love the basketball. Also really like today where we were, there was this and I saw it. But we have family in Charleston and we just went recently as well. And they had this game where it's the clowns that kind of, you throw balls at the clowns
love
and then
that.
they
Love
just
that.
kind of fall over if you get them. Love that. Oh my gosh. Love that.
I love any game.
Me too.
It's fun.
Anything you have to stop the button on the right thing where it's like baby gambling, you know?
You get all the
all the tokens.
Yeah.
I do too. I love it all. And this too, the one thing that I don't necessarily miss, but just as a big change I've noticed from when we were kids is that now all the tickets kind of stay on your little playing card as opposed to, remember they just to kind of shoot out at you?
You
had to hold them.
And you held them like I would do pom-poms. I'd be like, look at all my tickets. Yeah. Shake, 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 shake.
You were responsible. You had to be responsible for your own tickets.
And when you found some on the ground,
yes,
it's your lucky day.
Yes. And taking them, I do remember taking them to the counter and having the teenager count them for you, and they were never as many as you thought you were going to get.
Oh my gosh, I thought I had thousands, and they're like, you have 50 too.
And if you had 50, you could choose between one Tootsie Roll or one of those plastic frogs where you press the button and he leaps up.
Or the things that they're like half circles and they stick on something and then they shoot up.
Oh,
do you know what
yeah.
I'm talking about?
It was,
and I would do them on my skin and make a welt. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Slap bracelets. Oh.
Yeah. And then you always wanted what was 10,000 tickets, which was like, you know, a dream dancer, one of those fairies that you fling up in the air or something like that.
Or like a little like hit clip.
A hit clip.
Hit Me Baby One More Time on it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Hit clips.
Oh gosh, that's so much fun. I want to go to Dave & Buster's now.
I do too. I want to play like the Tokyo Drift games. I want to get on.
I love the race car games. Love them.
Yeah. Wow. How do you feel about air hockey?
I love air hockey. I love air hockey.
Yeah,
wow, that's one of my favorite ones. I actually like that more than foosball, but I do love a foosball game.
I'm not good at foosball.
I like ping pong.
I haven't played
basement games. That's what I call those.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, not everybody, but you have those in your basement.
Yes.
Like those are the games you have in your basement.
Right.
Unfinished basement.
Right. Yeah. Or if you have a fancy friend, it's a finished basement with a pool table.
Oh yeah.
And then
I suck at pool.
You're gonna hide some of your Mike's Hard Lemonade caps amongst the pool table.
That's hilarious.
I can't speak from experience on that, but that's if I knew a friend that did that, I would probably, just like feels familiar in some way.
You've heard of that.
Yeah, I've heard that it's happened.
The Bend.
Okay, thank you. I'm really happy not that we cleared anything up, but I just am happy to know that about you because I do love games. And that's it's just something special about me.
I like these games. I don't like board games as much.
I know you don't.
Famously.
I know you don't.
Because I really don't like, it's really card games I really don't like when it's a board game with all these cards and then you have to like remember things and you have to do math. If I have to do math, I don't do it.
I don't know if I brought this up to you as an alternative to that, but this is fun for me. We've played this with my friend Tiffany before, and I had a really fun time doing this where you get a cold case. And you're reopening a cold case and you're having it's a whodunit situation.
I love those. But those are like we did that last year for my friend's birthday and we all acted it out and we all, and that's fun.
It's not a board game.
No, that's not a board game. I like those kinds of games.
Yeah.
Because also I get to act. Put me in, coach. I'm going to put on the most ridiculous accent you've ever heard. And I'm going to go balls to the wall. I wore a cowboy hat last year.
She went in. You got into your role.
I played a saloon lady.
Ooh.
What are those called?
A bar wench. I don't know.
Yeah, essentially.
Maybe a bar wench.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to a dinner theater situation?
Yes.
A murder mystery?
About this.
I can't remember.
Not murder mystery.
Like a murder mystery.
Oh, no. I thought you meant like Dolly Parton's Stampede.
No, that is a variation of it. We have talked about this because I went to the Pirates and do that. But I mean one where it's like you're going to go to like the basement of a hotel and they're going to serve you cold
soup.
Mm-hmm. And they're going to do murder mystery. They're going to turn the lights out. Somebody's going to scream. And when they turn them back on, the actor is going to be on the ground
but I've been
writhing.
Asked to do them.
Of course you have.
And I didn't think that was my journey as an actor. So
well,
I'll do it with my friends unpaid, but I don't think I'm going to, I'm just not going to put that on my resume.
I agree. And I would also do it unpaid. I would do many things unpaid for the fun of it. I think I told you
should be fun.
Hailey and I spent some time together this past weekend, and I can't remember if I know that I said this to some people, and I think you and I talked about this, but I just want to have fun.
Yes, we did talk about it.
And I'm not talking about the kind of fun where I need to have, a bottle of wine and I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about I just want to do things for the hell of it, for the enjoyment of it. And I really just want to keep that as one of my main focuses right now.
Same.
Just having some fun.
Big heavy on that same. I just want to have fun.
Yeah, I do. I just want to have fun. Is it because girls want to have fun?
I think, it's been said.
Stop me if you've heard this. Heard this. But
I'm familiar.
That girls just want to have fun. If you've heard it, just stop me.
Dr. Cindy Lauper.
So, that sounds familiar, but
yeah.
Nobel Peace Prize winning Dr. Cindy Lauper.
Yeah.
But, I don't know if that's historically accurate or not, but it's just something I've heard.
I mean, as a girl myself, I can say from experience deeply that girls just want to have fun. Girls they just a girl. And I just want to have fun. I was talking to my cousin last night. We went to dinner and we were talking about car issues because he was telling me about his recent car issues and we were kind of giggling about them. And I just told him, I was like, yeah, I take my car in and they start telling me things about my car and they start saying numbers to me. And I say, don't talk to me like that ever again. I'm just a girl. Don't talk to me like that. You know what I mean?
But you know what they're saying. I want to clarify, though, too, with this just a girl thing.
I'm not saying I'm dumb.
Right. I want to make sure that that's because I do think that is.
In fact, I know what you're saying, and that's why I'm asking you to run it back.
You know exactly what they're saying.
Run the numbers again and give me something else. Don't ever talk to me like that. But we were just talking about all these situations where I was kidding, obviously. This is a comedy podcast. Let's relax. But I definitely said, yeah, sometimes I just tell people, don't ever talk to me like that ever again.
Don't talk to me or my son like that ever again.
Yeah, if you talk to my son like that, I'm going to have to ask you not to talk to me as well ever again.
Ever again.
Okay, speaking of kids and teaching them things or seeing them do the things, I am not a mother, but I am a nanny.
But are you a mamacita?
I am a mamacita.
Are you a mummy?
I'm a mummy. I'm a dog mom.
A dog mom?
Yes, I'm a dog mom. But I'm a nanny. And sometimes I teach things to kids on purpose, like please and thank you, some baby sign language. I teach them Roll Tide on purpose. But what I didn't mean to do, which I have done to a child, and their parents let me know by sending me a video of this, is I've been trying to stop saying, and I always try to not say no the first thing to a kid, like no, because no is just not going to do anything to them, but redirect them instead. So sometimes when I hear myself starting to say no, I'll turn it to nor, let's do something else, and I'll just throw an Australian accent on it, and then I'll go bingo, do do do.
I was gonna say,
and I'll just move it around to a New Zealand accent, whatever. And I say nor instead of no.
Which is very appropriate for right now too, because Louis is such a hot ticket character that it's in our stratosphere right now. Exactly.
They know what I'm doing.
Nor
clear. They don't know that, the condensation, but I'll still say it. Anyway, this child that I nanny, he started to say nor instead of no. So for example, hey, do you want to watch Bluey? Nor. Watch trains. He says nor. So his parents will be like, do you want more bites? Do you want sausage? Nor. I'm not kidding. Nor.
How do you feel about that? Are they let's keep it going, or?
I'm worried a little bit because I hope they're not annoyed. I think from what I can say, they think it's funny.
Mm-hmm.
But it is funny because he does not say no anymore. There's no more no. It's nor. It's straight nor. And I thought that was so funny. And I really did not mean to teach the child that.
You just never know what they're going to hold on to.
No,
you really don't.
Nor you don't.
And sometimes you say things and you think that it's just a blip on their radar, but in reality, they're going to bust it out 2 months later and they're going to use it in the correct context, and it's going to embarrass you or make you feel like you failed as a parent. Like we had a babysitter come over recently, and I did not realize that whenever our dog had an accident, I had been saying something that is inappropriate, and I hadn't even realized that my daughter had heard me saying it. But we had a babysitter come over, and she walks in the door, and Scooby-Doo goes, "I'm glad you're here. Rosie just pissed on the carpet." And I realized that every time Rosie, our dog, had an accident, I had been saying something to the effect of like, well, the dog just pissed on the carpet. And my mom used to say the same thing about our dog growing up. And now I have embedded in my kid's brain. And then she told the babysitter, and I looked at the babysitter and I said, we don't say that word here, but sometimes I do because I'm a bad person. But I didn't know that Scooby-Doo had even registered that I said it.
Oh, it happens so quick.
It happens so quick.
Also, I think kids bring things out of the depths. And I've noticed this also being a babysitter or nanny. I see them reach down deep for a new thing to say because they're trying to impress or they're excited or whatever, that they will bring out something that no one knows that they know, and they'll say it as soon as someone walks in, or they'll say it at the worst time. Like, and it's always in public.
Yes, no, it's pretty much a given that when I'm on a play date or when we're in public, she's going to bust out something she's never done before, make it seem as if she does it all the time, and it's going to be something that reflects poorly on my parenting 1,000% of the time. And that's also why when I see other children in public acting a fool, I truly do not ever think that it's the parent that is reinforcing this behavior. I pretty much always default to, your kid's a freak too, just like mine.
Well, they're all freaks.
And they're doing something they probably have never done before. And they waited to the perfect moment to show you that they can, I don't know, tap dance in a muddy puddle, like they saw Peppa do or something.
Like flick someone off or something. Like, when did you learn that?
Or make a crazy voice, a new monster voice. I don't know. Yeah, exactly.
Which that is not embarrassing at all. If a kid does that, they're a kid.
Yeah,
crazy voices.
No, it can be very embarrassing. It can be highly embarrassing depending on the situation and your expectation and your mood. A lot of it has to do too with your particular mood as a parent and what you're trying to do, and also what you're going through during the day and who you are as a person outside of being a parent. It can definitely be embarrassing. It can also be a day ender. Depending on your mood. Yeah. It can be a let's wrap it up, baby.
I can see
We're
that.
heading home.
I can see that.
This is my final straw, and you just broke it, baby. We're getting out of here.
I've had those moments like with kids in public places, like at the park and stuff, but not. I also know that I can go home after. So I'm like, it's okay. We're going to pick this up. And usually it's like something that's not even, it's just a kid thing. Like, it's not like I'm never mad, but I'm like, oh, that was not my favorite thing that's ever happened. Also, I've been thinking about this more and more lately, just because pretty much, no, not all of them, but like a lot of my friends have kids. And I'm hearing, and we talk to each other about like mom stuff. And I'm not at that stage in my life, and I can't, like, I get so excited. Like, I love babies, and I cannot wait to be a mom one day. But actually, yes, I can. And I've thought about that more and more over the past year, just because my year, if we look at it on paper, a lot of great things are going on. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm in, I have great friendships, great relationships, career-wise, things are going okay, and like whatever. And then I'm like, something bad happens, and I'm like, oh, thank goodness. The first thing I think is, thank goodness I don't have to change a diaper right now that has been blown out, or thank goodness, I don't know. I just get like really, I'm like, I couldn't with my patients right now. And I thank the Lord. He knows I ain't ready.
But once you have a kid too, for me anyway, the hierarchy of the things where your feelings are, it's just, I think too, that's why I'm so thrilled that I've been in therapy lately, is because the hierarchy of your needs is you're on the bottom of everything, and the kid or your family or whatever is at the top. So you don't really notice how run down you're getting until you're bottom of the basement, and you're like, help, get me out of the well. Baby Jessica in the bottom of the well. And then you don't realize it. And then it's a long crawl up to the top to where you're actually feeling like you're filling back up your own cup because it's been so empty. So I think that when you do have a kid and whenever you decide that that's the time, I feel like you have this eagle eye view on what it means to maintain your cup. And I feel like that's going to be really a great service to you because you see your other mom friends and people in your life that have children. You know what it means to be able to take a step back and say, I need to do this for me to show up as the best version of myself. Because sometimes when you don't have that, that experience or that wisdom around you, you do let your cup go down to the bottom. But I think that you do have a leg up and advantage in that way whenever you decide to have a family.
I do. Again, I see what I need to see and I will act accordingly.
Yes.
And I understand too. I was talking to a mom friend today about like, I don't think I'm going to be shy about getting help as far as like finding trusted babysitters or nannies and not just relying on family. One, because I don't have family near. J-Dog really doesn't either. His family lives like 2 hours away, and that will be helpful. And I know his family will love to be involved. They've already said, and we're very excited about that. And they just are like that anyway. But just someone nearby, and I'm going to need some babysitters and or nannies, because even if I am staying with them for the most part, I'm going to know. I know I'm going to need to not be with them all the time.
Absolutely.
I know that. And I was talking to a friend today and she was like, oh, well, you'll think differently when you have a kid, which is probably also very true. I don't know how I'm going to feel once I actually have my own kid. However, I was like, no, girl, I really think what I see is that people need to have their own space, and I don't want to lose it.
I think that both ends of that spectrum can be true. I think that it's so important to be able to know that you can rely on other people outside of your family that live in your own home to help you with your child. I think that that's such a gift. It's very special. Not everybody has that. And then on the other side of that too, I see how special it is too to be able to say, I am providing all this care for my child because I have the means to do it. But I think that whenever you do, to your friend's point, not to disparage what you're saying about what you want to do, but I do think that we talked about this, when you have a child, I also had a lot of expectations for myself before I became a mom that changed because I didn't realize that your actual physical makeup changes as a mom. It's not just about your mental state. It's about truly on a cellular level, who you are changes. And I don't just mean like it was an earth shattering experience. I'm like, no, quite literally who you are from the inside out changes. Your perception of the world changes. Your decision making process changes. And it's because you are different. The hormones that have been placed inside of me are still there and I'm different. And so I think that is just important to keep in mind too. Like, but
again,
just because
that's what I'm saying,
that's what I said.
I will probably change my mind in some way, but
it's so, that's why you have a leg up though, is because you're already thinking about things that are crucial that I never thought about. I'm also
a nanny though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why you have a leg up, is because you've had all this experience and because you've been around so many different types of children and you've seen the ways that other people do it. And you can kind of say, I like that way. I didn't love that way. That might work for me. And I think that's truly a gift that you've given yourself through the career that you've gotten, or not career, but you know what I mean? Like the jobs that you've had.
Yeah. No, I mean, I definitely think it'll help. And that's what I was trying to explain to her, is I was like, maybe because I am a nanny, I feel like I can trust a nanny.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, well, not everybody's you. But I'm like, well, like, as far as like, not everybody is me as a nanny. And
the level of care that you give.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which I think I'm just not going to settle if I don't find one. But also, who knows? I'm not a mom. I'm not there yet. I haven't even gotten married. We can't talk about it too much.
You won't know till you get there. And then once you get there, guess what? You're going to make the right choice, because another thing that happens to you on your cellular level is that you innately know the right decisions for your kid. You just innately know, and it's creepy.
Best. It's true,
freaky,
Mothers
but you'll know innate inside of yourself.
I love it,
and that's that.
And that's not on that. We got to talk about another thing. Mm-hmm. Okay, why does no one know how to pronounce the name Nicola?
I don't think I know how to pronounce it.
Nicola. everybody says Nicola. I've heard it 3 times in the last like month. And I think.
Who is named this?
Well, the one that came up today that made me think of it was Nicola Peltz Beckham, which is Brooklyn Beckham's wife, which is Victoria Beckham's son's wife. And Victoria Beckham, Spice Girl, Posh Spice, married to David Beckham, and that is their family tree. And Nicola.
Also Vicky B. Beauty.
Yes.
The amazing fashion designer / the most incredible
makeup line. But yeah, no one knows how to say Nicola. And they read it and they go Nicola. And I'm like, have you ever met anyone named Nicola? Because I haven't. I've met Nicole and I've met Nicola.
I would definitely say Nicola. Like if I saw that written out, and I think that's just because of the way that I put emphasis on vowels. So I think other parts. So she's not.
Nicola. That's it.
Yeah, I might say Nicola.
Okay.
I think that's because the COLA, you're taught to the C and the O is the K sounds.
Yeah.
I think too a lot of it has to do with the way that you're taught English, to be honest, and like this and the consonants and the vowels when they're put together, you're taught different rules about what the sounds are. So I think my P brain would go COLA is cola, Nicola. That would be it.
Yeah,
you know,
I
think that's it.
I just think it's so interesting. I'm like,
are you supposed to say it?
Nicola.
No, I would say Nicola.
Like
you just showed me. I'm like, hi Nicola, and I would say it, Nicola. I'm Jessi. You know, I'm Jessi. This is my friend Hailey.
Also, another thing I wanted to talk about today was prank calls.
Oh, okay.
Did you ever do them?
I have one that I can remember doing a lot.
Because I went hard on the prank calls growing up.
Tell me about them.
So I had this one named Diane, and she talked like this, and she go, "Kids, quit smoking in the bathtub." And she would also she'd say, listen, and she would call the Motel 8. But she would not I would not actually call the Motel 8. I'd call people I knew, obviously. And me and all my friends would be like dying. But I'd be like, listen, I left my, and I hope this isn't, I'm scared. I'm just going to say
Lay it out there.
It's not that
It's a prank call.
It's a prank call. It was many moons ago.
Lay it out.
But I would say, hey, listen, this is Diane. I left my prosthetic leg at the Motel 8 in the bathtub, and it had purple passion nail polish on the toes. That's how you know it's mine. Kids, sorry, my kids are acting wild in the back one. Kids, quit smoking in the bathtub. And I would do that for years.
Did you do it?
I think it was 2 years.
Did you do it to kids that you went to school with?
Yes. Probably boys that we liked.
I bet you and your friends were absolutely pissing your pants during that time.
We'd explode. One time we did it to my friend's older brothers, who we were freshmen. So this is a little too old to be doing prank calls, but we were doing prank calls. We did it it was really 8th grade to freshman year. Me and my girls, which we weren't going out to parties because we were on dance team. So we had to be we couldn't go socialize because we were always practicing. We would get in trouble, whatever. We were afraid of getting in trouble. So we were just in someone's basement making prank calls. And that was our wild times. So we called her older brother, who was on the baseball team, very cute. And this was actually not my friend. It was a girl who bullied me, but she was on the dance team with me.
Oh, perf.
Shouts out to her. I hope
you're having the day you deserve.
Yep. And I also hope you've gotten it together. You've tightened the screws a bit because something was up. But she would call her very cute older brother, and she's like, okay. And obviously she loved it when I was entertaining, when I was dance monkeying. So she was nice to me then. But she'd be like, okay, now go. And I would do that. And then all of his cute baseball friends would be there because they were they were somewhere hanging out. And one time I was doing, kids, quit smoking in the bathtub. In mid-bathtub, they all walked downstairs in the basement, and I turned bright red. I never wanted them to know this part of me.
They knew.
And these cute boys, and they were older. And I was like, I turned purple and I died.
Question, were you calling them on their cell phones? Did these people have cell phones?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes. We were in high school. There were cell phones.
Oh, we didn't have cell phones.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't have a cell phone until maybe junior year, maybe senior year.
Yeah, we all had cell phones. Mm-hmm. We were calling on our Razors, on our flip phones,
cute,
our Motorola's.
Mm-hmm,
And we would star 69. I think star 69 or star
67. Star 69 is when you want to
call someone back.
When you want to find out who called you. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Star 67 was blocking the number.
Star 67. Okay. I would star 67 people, and I would call them, and I would do Diane, and she lost her prosthetic, and she had a bit of a stutter, and she was, I don't know where she was from, but she smoked, and that's how I would do it.
That one was good because it was an original character. The one we did a lot, which played out, but we would call whoever, and we would pretend that we were calling from Baskin Robbins, and I would say, I think that they had like at this point 52 flavors, something like that, and I would say, "Hi, this is Cheryl from Baskin Robbins on blah 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 road. We're running a promotion right now. If you can name all 52 flavors in 52 seconds, you can have free ice cream for a year," or something like that. And then of course it's the silliest thing. We're all in the background. I'm holding the phone.
Did anyone even try? I wouldn't even try.
Yes, you would be surprised. Oh my gosh, if you call the right sophomore high school boy and he thinks he might have a shot at having free ice cream, he's gonna give it a go.
Okay,
that was the best, because then you get this person on the phone going chocolate, mint chocolate chip, vanilla, banana, and then you're just dying because
that's funny.
There's just no way to do it. It wasn't really funny so much as it was just like we were just trying to live,
Yeah, prank calling is low key so fun.
Yeah, and
I was thinking about it because I saw the Renee Rapp with, I think it's Elle magazine, where she's Renee, but she would call people and prank them by saying random things like, oh my gosh, like she called
Bowen Yang
and said, my car that I was just in hit Lorne Michaels, and I'm upset because I wanted to be on Saturday Night Live again.
Yeah,
and he saw me. Or she
Very
called Jake Shane and was like, I'm pregnant with some man's child. Mind you, she's in a very serious relationship with a woman right now. So she was like, I cheated on her. And he was like, oh my God, like what, like, anyway. And she's like the whole time, like, and I was like, oh my gosh, the rush I used to have of prank calling. And I saw it on Renee Rapp's face, and she was doing the little tongue, like, and I was like, yes, Renee. Yes, this is funny.
I will say though, for prank calls, for me, there was always a line of the silly, goofy, I like name these ice cream flavors. And then I would never have been able to do a prank call where I'm delivering news that could possibly affect, like, telling someone that I'm pregnant when I'm not, or
that's kind of like
that would have been like, I just could not have done that one. I know that some people probably could deliver the like, just kidding, gotcha, in a way that I couldn't. So that would make me hesitant to do it, because I just think that I couldn't deliver that in a way that was like... No, I would need
some prompts. Like if I were to do that, and I don't know if the L told her to say that. I think the interesting part about her doing that is because she was dating a woman. So how did you accidentally get pregnant sort of situation? I think that was, and it was who she was calling.
I was going to say, you also have to have a relationship with that person to trust that they're going to think that this level of X, Y, and Z lie or prank is funny. So you have to know that person's sense of humor pretty well too.
Right.
I think I would just be so nervous. I think I would just be, I would be
wouldn't
sweating.
Say that one, that prompt specifically, I would not do, just because it wouldn't be funny, especially like women at, like, I don't know. That's probably not funny for me to do, but I would love to do this. Also, I heard and I'm trying to remember now at the top of my head, I know it was, fudge. I'm forgetting the comedian's name, but Trip Crosby is the man. It's his podcast. He's a filmmaker in Atlanta, Georgia, and he directed a commercial I was in. And he was like, oh, you have a podcast? I heard from the DP that you have a podcast. And I was like, yeah. Told him all about it. And he was like, I have a podcast. And he interviews comics. And he interviewed the comic. I wish I could. Anyway, he said the guy told him about this game that they used to play. And the game was they would call someone, and it would be your phone, and you weren't allowed to see whose number this is. And they know you're calling because you're calling them on your phone. But I would just hand you the phone up to your ear, and you would have to talk
like
to
a blind phone call.
A blind phone call, and you'd have to figure out who it was. And it's like roulette, so you'd press anyone. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's such a dangerous game, because there are so many times where I'm looking up someone's number in my contacts list, and I see like Jessica blue shirt or Jessica from Memphis. And I'm like, who is Jessica from Memphis? And it's obviously someone I met in college or something, but like, who's to know? So if I called them, I would never guess their voice.
The ones that I've seen that I think are really quite funny is when you take two people have their cell phones, they call mutuals. So the people that are calling on either of their cell phones know one another, but when they pick up, they're expecting to speak to the person who is actually the owner of the phone. But then they put the phones together so the people that they've called are actually speaking to one another. It gets me every
That's really
time.
funny.
I've seen a lot of people do that with their divorced parents, where they call their dad and then they call their mom on the other phone and they put them together and they pick up, hello, and they are expected to talk to their kid, but what their kids have done is called their parents to make them speak to one another.
I think that's hilarious.
I think is brilliant.
That's
so funny. Oh,
I've
so
also
funny.
seen it too, where there's this TikTok trend where you have your boyfriend or your dad call their brother or their best friend and say goodnight and tell them they love them.
Just calling to say goodnight.
Yeah, just calling to say goodnight and I love you. And you have to say, and I love you, or whatever. You have to say I love you somewhere. And then people are like, hey, you okay, boss? Like,
again, another one
hilarious.
I've seen where these divorced parents that are still on good terms will be like, mom is calling the divorced dad. Hey, I'm just calling to say goodnight. Just want to tell you I love you. I'm going to bed. Just want to call and say goodnight. And 10 times out of 10, the divorced dad of the scenario is going,
are you okay?
What I do? Are you okay? Is something going on? Like, should I come over? You know? And I just, again, to me, that's a very harmless, funny prank. That's a good one. That's a really good one.
Because it's not saying anything bad. But no, I just love a prank call. And I think I'm going to bring it back. And if you get someone star 67 you and you know me, it might, might be me. But also, no one answers a call anymore that says no caller ID.
Right. Or spam risk.
Which it would say no caller ID if I did it.
This is not a prank call, but this is something that really has stuck with me throughout my entire life that happened to me as a child. One time, this is before caller ID. This is when we had a landline in my childhood home, and I would answer the phone. Oh, also remind me after this, I want to tell you what my answering machine message was.
Okay.
One time somebody called the house, picked up the phone, and it was a man who I thought was my uncle. I thought it was my mom's brother, who I'm very close with. I thought it was my uncle being silly, using a silly voice, asking me silly questions like, what's my address? And what's your address again? And how old are you again? And remind me what you look like again. I thought he was being silly to try to get me to laugh.
So scary.
Asking me these questions. He should have obviously known about me. So I thought he was being silly by being like, oh, who is this little girl I'm talking to again? I can't remember her.
I don't like it.
Which is honestly like uncle behavior. After I've answered these questions for him, he says, well, Jessi, it's so good to hear a girl's voice because I'm actually calling from prison.
Oh, I knew it. Oh, I knew it.
The top of this call that I just didn't realize as a 8-year-old little girl was somebody had asked me, this is a collect call from, and I didn't hear from blah, blah, blah. Do you accept the charges? And it didn't even occur to me. I just said yes. It just said yes. And it's definitely said from the local prison
facility.
But I just accepted the collect call, and this man asked me all these silly questions. Again, my brain, I'm so innocent, and I think everyone is okay, and they want the best for me, so I'm giving this man all this information. It's so good to hear a girl's voice, Jessi, because I've been in prison for X amount of years. I can't remember what he says. I have never hung up faster. My stomach dropped. I immediately started crying, told my mom what I did. And that has stuck with me because that was creepy. I remember
I had someone in high school doing that. Well, and they knew whoever this was, they either knew who I was or something weird. But in high school, it was right before I went off to college. So I guess not in high school, but right before, right after high school, I had someone who would call me and on a no caller ID. And again, queen of prank calls. I love a prank call. Prank call me, except unless you're trying to be scary. That's like, if you're telling me you're going to come kill me, no, I don't like it. Which this guy was not, but he's saying it was a man's voice that I did not recognize. And it wasn't like one of those distorted, like, so it wasn't a program, but it was a man's voice. And he said, I'm coming to get you. I'm in love with you. You're getting in my car. You have no other choice. And then I hung up, and then this number would text me, but it was like clear. It was like a fake number that would text me. So they would text me from a real number, but it was like a Google number or something. Like it wasn't someone that I could, it wasn't
like a burner number.
Yeah, burner number. And then one night, and so I stopped answering it, obviously, because I was like, this is scary. And then one night at like 2 a.m. when I was asleep, it calls me and I answer it right away. And it says, I'm outside, come outside. And I flipped my lid. I went up to my dad's room and I was like, someone's outside. And as he opened the door, a car was pulling away, but I didn't like it. But he was like, stop answering those calls. And I was like, I didn't mean to. It was in the dead of the night.
It's just a reflex.
But it was really scary. And I don't suggest doing that to women. That's not how you get them to get in your car, for sure.
Not okay. So on not a scary note, I'm going to tell you, remember it was so
that's
popular.
Not a prank call. I don't like it.
So popular to do your voice, your answering machine.
Yes.
And to have like a cool, like kind of a vibey answering machine.
Yeah. And if you were like, hey, what's up? Just kidding. That was my voicemail.
Yeah.
Leave it ton after the pipe,
well,
or whatever.
This is on our family answering machine. Like no. I did my own personal ones. I actually finally got my Nokia, my brick. I did my own voicemail, but on my family answering machine, this still plays on my head sometimes when I'm having like, kind of like a dumb day and you have that loop in your head that just plays whatever. This is what we did. My brother was on the drums and the drums were like,
okay.
Are you picturing it?
Yeah.
And then I come in. Hi, we're not home. Weren't able to pick up the phone. So leave your name, your number, and a short message too. We'll get back to you by this afternoon. Thanks, and have a great day. Bye.
Wow.
Thank you.
What a vibe.
Thank you. I know.
And your parents, that's something to be proud of.
Well, they never knew we did that. So we did that on our own
because
volition.
Every time I left a message, I would say, okay, phenomenal song. Anyway, I just called to tell you. You know what I mean?
And my dad worked from home, so he really wasn't calling home a lot because he was already there. So they just never knew that was the answering machine until several years later. One of them did call and said, "What is this shit?" Because it was crazy. People would truly, like, random sales calls we would get would chuckle before they left a message, and I knew that I had done something right.
I never was brave enough to ever record a voicemail message. I was just like, I'm just gonna hit them with. Also, I just didn't want. I don't know. I kind of didn't want people who were calling me who I didn't know to know it was my phone. Does that make sense?
Smart. So if I had somebody that could have possibly been outside at 2 a.m., I also would have not done that. Yeah.
But you've reached 204 or like whatever your area code is. That's my vibe. But that's hilarious. I think that is crazy. And I also think that rolls into another thing I wanted to talk about, which is text messaging. And I think I've talked about this before, but when people try to say, so how have you been over text message? How do you answer that? How do you answer that? How do you ask that? How have you been over text message? This isn't a DM.
Yeah.
This isn't, and I don't even know. How have you been? Where do I start? Do you realize if I actually get into it, you're going to get a notes, like you're going to open up the text and it's going to go to your notes app. So why would you even ask?
I would never ask, how have you been? What I would do, the alternative, which I do, is hope you're doing well.
Yes.
It's more of a statement. And it's true because I do hope you're doing well.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that if we were on good enough terms or if we were close enough, I would already know if you weren't doing well.
Right. Well, I had a very good friend today. And she is one of your friends too. She was texting me about my birthday's coming up and she was like, hey, your birthday's coming up and I haven't heard anything. Are we going to do something? And I was like, well, save this day. I think we might do something that day. I haven't alerted the media yet because my brain is mush.
And that's my job, to be fair.
But no, also it's my job. Like I
like that job.
Well, if you want that job, you can have that job. But anyway, it's not that serious what we're going to do. It's just like whatever. But anyway, she texted me and she was like, are we going to do anything? I was like, just save this day, the evening of, like, we're going to go do something.
Pick out a fit.
And then she was like, great. Like, I can't wait to see you. How have you been since I last seen you? She said, I miss you so much. How have you been since I've last seen you? I love you so much. And I don't think she's listening to this podcast, but in case she is, hi, sister. She wouldn't ask me, how have you been? Nope, she would, because I don't say everything on the pod. But hello? How do you answer that?
I'd say,
how are you?
How much time do you have? Maybe if I really thought that this was an opportunity that they wanted to know, and maybe I'm like, they're hard to catch on the phone or see in person.
I think she really does want to know.
I'd probably pick my top 3 bullet points to update, and then I'd send.
But then I would have to, because at least one of the bullet points, or like 2 of them, would need some kind of...
Wait, I have the right answer.
She wants to know things.
I have the right answer. It's a voice note is the answer.
I know, but my phone's been acting up.
But you know what I mean?
Yes,
in somebody else's scenario,
right.
If somebody says to you, how have you been since I last saw you? I
should have led with that too.
Then I think that from here, I changed my answer to, I would pick up the phone and say, this is a voice note. You're going to need to buckle up. And then I would run it down.
Yeah.
But again, I would just, for me on over text message, it's going to be I hope you're doing well. Or
I can't wait to catch up. Or
yeah.
let's plan a dinner where it's just you and me so we can catch up. Or do you have time tomorrow afternoon while I'm walking the dog? I can call you and update you, whatever. That sort of stuff I vibe with. But I also feel like a lot of people don't like talking on the phone. I'd rather talk on the phone. And not that I want to be on the phone, because I don't. I've got 80 million things to do and I'm feeling anxious. But a voice note, love them.
Yeah,
my phone's been acting up.
I only do it with a select few people because I find that sometimes people over voice notes, it can be an odd thing if you're not used to talking out loud like we are on this podcast. And I'm used to now. It took me a long time to get used to the sound of my own voice and editing these things, like listening to yourself back. And so
also
now,
not judging what's coming out of your mouth,
right?
Knowing
stream
that
of consciousness.
They can play it back.
Yes, stream of consciousness. And so I think it takes a specific person to get behind a voice note. But I've dipped my toe. There's been a few friends recently where we've just been like going back and forth, and I've just let her rip on the voice note. And I say, listen, I know this is out of our realm that you and I normally communicate in, but I'm going to give you a voice note. And they have been met positively pretty much every time. Yeah. So let's let our people hear our voices. Yeah, I want to hear my friends' voices.
I do too.
I really like it.
And it's low pressure because you don't have to respond right away. Like on the phone, you have to respond right away because you're on the phone. That'd be weird. But like, let's say I'm vacuuming and I'm like, okay, well, I'm still vacuuming and I have the AirPods in so I can listen to Megan's voice note, but I can't reply to Megan's voice note right at this second because I'm vacuuming. So I can listen to it, but I can't respond. And also, she said some things and I'm like, oh, I want to go back to that and talk about that. And she can get it as she is able. And one thing we always say is with a friend of the pod, Megan or Kat, either of the cats, they always say, send me a podcast, a personal podcast, because like they'll be like, you just send, because all of a sudden like
Tiffany says the same thing.
Yeah,
she's also like, welcome to my podcast. Yeah. And also one thing about Hailey, she's gonna save your voice note. She's gonna save it.
Well, it depends. If I can get back to it right away, I won't. But if I don't think I'm gonna get back to it, or if you said something really funny, and honestly, you send me a lot of things that are either really funny, or you send me things with Scooby's voice.
That's true.
And there was one that I had to like literally, I can't remember what she said, but I remember I like cried when I listened to it. And I was like, I'm going to want this for later.
I also think I save the occasional voice note from friends because I'm like, this is something that when we're, I don't know, like it's not necessarily.
Sometimes you need to hear that.
Yeah. And it's not necessarily blackmail.
No.
But Tiffany and I are always like, we always say over our voice notes, like, this is not for my funeral. Please don't play this at my funeral. Like, you know, in your eulogy, don't use this clip of me right now. I'm not in my right mind. I'm not sane. But no, love a voice note. That's my final answer. I think that's the right thing to say. And also any friend that's coming to me and asking me, how have you been since you've last seen me? That's honestly more than we get sometimes from people. I
appreciate it so
that's
big.
Not, I know
don't
you
want
do.
that.
No, I know you do. I'm just commenting on that from my personal thing. Like that's more than you get from a lot of people. And also people are so busy and I know that we don't have enough time. And so if you're thinking about me for 5 seconds and you send me anything, really,
it's so sweet.
I like it. I know maybe, you know, I'm just
also this friend to be thinking about my birthday coming up. I don't think about things that are in 2 weeks. I'm not thinking about my birthday. I don't think about things that are in 2 weeks. And I always feel like such a little poopy girl, like a bad friend. But like, I don't think about it until it's like gonna be.
But some people love other people's birthdays. Like me, I love other people's birthdays. So maybe she's also like a big other people's birthday person.
Yeah.
And is looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Because it's a party. It's a reason for celebration. That's why I always tell my friends who are like, I don't really think I want to do anything. I jokingly get on them because I'm like, it ain't all about you. Your birthday ain't all about you. It's also about the people that want to celebrate you, because I'm trying to put on a hot young thing outfit and go out to eat with you.
And shake the tail
and
feather.
Pick up the tab. And make you probably have one too many espresso martinis.
Yum. It's always a fun time. I love a birthday dinner. I love going to
too.
other people's birthday dinners. I love birthday dinners. They're so good. I love going to dinners with girls.
I love dinner.
Name something you're not.
Breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Yeah,
yes.
No,
every
but
time.
it is true.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's true. I like dinner over everything.
I do have people though that in my life have been like, I love a big elaborate lunch. I love a spread. I love a big lunch, and then I like a light dinner. No, the thought of having a big crazy lunch and then going about my day, I can't.
No, I'm done. Bless you. Bless you again. Wow, how'd you do those silent? For those of you who aren't watching at home, he just sneezed twice, but internally.
Roll the tape.
Yeah.
Roll the tape.
Playback.
Play it back.
Wow, Greg, that was a good one. She really dribbled up the court there.
Yeah.
No, also dribbled up the court there.
Yeah, you can dribble up the court.
I know, but like when I'm talking about your nose.
It also dribbled up the court.
I know.
It did.
But it didn't. It did. It dribbled up the court.
It did.
All the way through.
It did.
Wow.
The court of my body.
Yep. How much time? Because I have a whole notes list.
Well, is there anything that you want to hit on this ep? Anything else on this ep? Because we've got, spoiler alert, we got another ep next week.
We do. And spoiler alert, we are, hopefully this is the last time in a long time, but we are recording 2 at one time.
I like it.
It just has to happen. I actually don't like doing it.
Sometimes I like it because it feels good to...
I feel accomplished afterwards.
After I finish one and we have to go into another to record, I like the gear change. I feel the mental gear change.
That's true.
And sometimes I think that when I worked in a more corporate world, I would have to do the mental gear change a lot during the day between meetings, especially if you work for multiple clients or you're meeting with different arms of a company. You have to have a mental gear change. Sometimes in my life right now, the gear is there's one gear. There's one gear, and it's just kind of moving and grooving, and I'm just trying to get up the hill in this one gear. So the gear change between topics, I like.
Yeah.
If
I do understand that. And that makes sense. And I will say, I feel like momentum is up. Like even when we just record one podcast and we leave, I am still like, the gear is up. Like I'm in good mood, and I'm also like, what do you want to discuss? Let's discuss. Like anywhere. If you want to approach me in public, that's when. Right after I record a pod, because I will talk to you about whatever it is you want to talk to me about. I love it. But I can save the other things for the other pod.
Sure, yeah. Or if there's anything that you think that it would put the cherry on top, let her rip, Tater Chip.
You know what? How can you top Tater Chip, to be real?
Let her rip, Tater Chip. Let's for our final thought. Yeah. Please tell me your favorite potato chip.
Ooh, this is so tough, and I'm gonna give you the one that came to the top of my mind because I have so many. I love chips. Ever since I was a little girl, I just knew I wanted to love chips. No, that's it. It's when I was a little girl, a witch put a spell on me to eat chips.
Ooh, yeah.
That's what it is. That's that mean. It's the other one is ever since I was a little girl, I knew all I ever wanted to do was yap. But yeah, a witch did put a spell on me, and I used to have Lay's, like original Lay's, with a Coke, a Coca-Cola, and not a Nicola, and chicken noodle soup. So I had chicken noodle soup with a soda on the side, also with Lay's potato chips, and then I also loved for dessert. This is what I would call, I could never have this as a real meal, except when I went to my mom's house after my parents got a divorce, and if she's listening, she'll think this is funny because it is funny, because I had to be bribed to go over there at one point, and the bribe was I have chicken noodle soup with Lay's, a Coca-Cola, and a Hershey bar. My butt was there, sitting there square, and it was a square little butt after that because I ate all of that.
That was the most 90s meal you could have ever described right then and there.
It was sick. It was so good. It was, by the way, it was Campbell's chunky chicken noodle. It wasn't like
that watery stuff.
Yeah, that little condensed looking ass.
No. All right.
Yep.
That's so just
okay, but now
regular Lay.
But now, no, that was the old me.
Mm-hmm,
the new me, the first thing that came to mind was kettle cooked jalapeno chips.
Oh, okay.
Cape Cod or Miss Vicky's. I really like Miss Vicky's, but I like both of those. Cape Cod, Miss Vicky's, jalapeno, kettle cooked chips.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
Yep.
I am not a chip fiend, maybe like you are, and like I like sweet snacks. Like I have a sugar problem.
I do love sugar.
But
Hershey's.
I've got three top contenders.
Okay, I'm excited.
My first one is going to be the Zapp's dill pickle chips.
Yum. Those are so good.
Or they're like the Gator chips. They're
Those
like
are
a dill
top
pickle.
10.
They're so good. You can only get them every so often. They're not readily
They're not
available.
everywhere.
Love them. Second, Ruffles sour cream and onion.
Yum.
Love those.
Oh, and when you had them in the dips, like the onion dip or the sour cream and onion dip. Ooh.
Or there's also a sour cream and cheddar, which is very good for the Ruffles.
I've never had that.
Please do everyone else a favor after you're eating both of these types of chips I've just described.
Brush your fangs.
Get away from everyone.
Yeah.
Don't talk to nobody.
Mouthwash.
Be a
Scrub
decent
your
human.
tongue.
Yes, be a decent human and walk away. And then my third chip is I really like, oh wait, what did I say? I said the dill pickle, the sour cream and onions. And then there was a third, shoot. It was also like an artisanal situation.
Ooh, like seasonal?
Shoot, doggone it, Hailey.
I will say, while you're thinking of that, keep thinking. Think with your tongue. What chips are these? But in St. Louis growing up, we had wrap snacks. And I know they have them kind of everywhere, but they were like abundant in St. Louis.
Those are the wrapper
chips.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I can't remember my favorite, but sometimes when I see them at random gas stations now, because they were everywhere in St. Louis. And I can't believe they're not everywhere in Atlanta.
I find them often.
But they were everywhere. Like you go to the grocery store. Like they were everywhere. And they are not everywhere in Atlanta. And I noticed that because I feel like they should be.
They're in a lot of just convenience stores here.
Yes.
I can't think of my third. It's gonna haunt me. It was also like very artisanal and delicious. I do like a more hearty chip. You know what I mean? Like I like something with some ruffles and some substance.
Okay, that's why I like those kettle cooked ones.
Yeah, they're great. I do prefer sugar. I mean, if there was if you handed me a bag of caramel corn versus a bag of Lay's potato chips, I'm gonna go caramel corn.
Okay,
now that's apples to apples, but that's just a little bit about me, you know?
I don't think I would do that just because. Do you say caramel?
Like caramel corn, yeah.
Okay.
Like I'm just thinking
I
about
say caramel. I think you're right. I think caramel
both
sounds.
Right. I think again that's just from where
tomato?
Yeah, I think it's just from where you're grown up.
Pecan.
I will say though, I also realize why I would say Nicola is because Ricola.
And I understand that.
It popped in my brain and I was like, oh yeah, I'm pre-programmed with the
I also
Ricola man.
knew a Nicola growing up. So maybe I'm just like, why can't everybody get it?
Yeah.
And like maybe you just didn't know a Nicola growing up.
I didn't, but I do know a Ricola.
Wow, if my name was Nicola, I would cash in on that. I'd be like, Nicola, like all the time. Maybe I wouldn't.
With that, please rate, review, subscribe. Please leave us a little comment. Please send us a DM. Please holler at us. I've checked yesterday, quite literally yesterday. Norway, your numbers are up. Like your numbers are up.
Y'all?
Like our unique listeners in Norway are up. You are our second most listened country. The UK is under Norway. Yes.
What? Not even our buddies up in Canada.
And then Germany is above Canada. So anyway, listen, Norway, I love you.
Above Canada.
Wow. And yeah, thank you for everything. We love you so much, and we will see you next Thursday.
Janine, take us home, sis. Ah.